Hello and welcome to another episode with Sports with Monga. Well, it almost feels to me that United need something to strike back, and that was exactly what Leeds United provided. Of course, Leeds United, after coming back, after the sacking of Jesse March, their manager, after losing to Nottingham Forest over the weekend, had another game with Manchester United, and of course we know the rivalry between the Reds and the White of Leeds. It's a famous Premier League rivalry, an English Premier League rivalry, which has dated back for centuries and ages. But Leeds United has not won at Old Trafford since 1981. That's some kind of a history for the domination that Manchester United has. But then it almost felt to me like Leeds United today could actually do that, rewrite those history books, because you can just forget the first half in a way, because it almost felt like the first half was like the pace maintained, no surprises. But then the second half starts with such kind of force, like it took United to kind of come to terms with what struck them, and Leeds United, the way they play, like 200 miles an hour, like just going crazy. They just kind of created such pressure that the United conceded pretty quickly. Like first half, like second half starts, and then United already conceded within the first minute of the second half. Actually, to be very frank, yeah, and then that was kind of. Yeah, it's just kind of the first 50 there, like not in like just starting off and immediately conceding the goal, basically. Not even the second half, in the first half itself, in the first minute, within the first minute, in the 55 seconds, and I think United just kind of then wanted to come back. They tried the level best, but of course, Leeds United were compact. They had a lot of energy around, running around with kind of chasing the balls, not letting United to stay with the ball for long. But then the second half arrives, and you're hoping the United kind of goes off and starts kind of trying to push Leeds for an equalizer. But then immediately in the second half, unfortunate to see Varane score an own goal. Which just makes it very hard. Like it's like 48th minute and it's already 2-0 down Manchester United, and you're kind of feeling how is this game gonna kind of run, and come in the moment where some really smart kind of I would say really smart substitutions, like two substitutions that they were made. Of course, United was playing with a chain squad as well. Let's kind of talk about that, because Casemiro and Eriksen both were out. United were starting the first start for the Bayern Munich midfielder, and then in the January window loan transfer for United, Sabitzer. He was starting this first game. Of course, and also a pleasant surprise to see Diogo Dalot coming back in the squad, starting off, and Garnacho starting the game as well. I think these were subs that United is basically, or starting lineup that United was forced to make, considering United lost Casemiro to a red card and Eriksen to injury. So there was like a little more tweaking to be done in the midfield to kind of accommodate the gap. Of course, Fred did start the game. But then, yeah, like 48 minutes is only 2-0 down, and Manchester United, they make really smart changes. Erik ten Hag does really good. Gets in Jadon Sancho, the guy who's kind of getting back to form or wants more game time to kind of score, because Manchester United will need that kind of support, right? And they will need kind of Sancho to kind of fire on all cylinders, given the squad right now, and injuries and the cards that the United has kind of to deal with. Jadon Sancho comes in for Wout Weghorst. I'm sure Weghorst is like, I have nothing against the player, but then you need to give him service. Like there have to be balls going in so that he can attack and understand that I can expect balls from crosses. But it almost felt like he was kind of he was left out to dry, and there were no crosses for him. That's weird for a striker from his stature to not receive any service. Garnacho goes off, Piastri comes in, and that makes some magic. Like the first cross that Diogo Dalot comes in, and this guy just can't stop scoring. Marcus Rashford scores a brilliant header, to get United at least half the deficit in the 62nd minute. And then Leeds United has already made a slew of kind of changes in the first half as well. In the second half, conceding this goal, but then Jadon Sancho's goal is like he's almost like he's like in the crowd, and he just places the ball in the crowd in the bodies around him, and it just kind of flows in. It's very lucky in a way that kind of he does score the way he does. And then it was like full throttle, like both teams trying to concede or trying to get a winner. United, of course, pushing for to get closer to Manchester City and for to kind of get ahead of Manchester City, but the Manchester City also has a game in hand. But then Leeds United trying to kind of get out of the relegation or kind of get some gap between them and the relegation spots, which was the kind of aim. But then there were chances both sides that they could have scored. Manchester United, of course, getting a lot of chances through Fred, but then Fred, not a potent striker of the ball, and a lot of chances kind of just left there, and Emilia was there to kind of save them in a way. But then that was interesting to kind of the game, kind of how it kind of went towards the final minutes. Of course, still Manchester United at Old Trafford trying to push for that winner. But then some more substitutions that were made, I think, made the game a little more stable, or kind of trying to kind of ensure that they don't concede. With Sabitzer going off and Lindelof coming in, and Malacia coming in for Diego Dallo. So that was kind of like more reinforcement in the midfield and ensuring that there are no tired legs in the defense, that Adams or McKennie or other players like Aronson can run across or through with from the Leeds side. But eventually, I think it's a good game. I'm very sure when the game started, Manchester United would not have thought that they would be happy with the draw, but then I'm sure the way the game panned out, I'm very sure the fans and everybody is very happy with a single point that Manchester United could kind of get out of this game. But Leeds United, on the other hand, should feel sad or bad about the way the game ended for them, because of course, like, they would have gone in the games hoping that they can win or kind of hold off or get a point. But then the way the game kind of panned out, like scoring the first minute and also pretty early on the second half, they should have been able to kind of save, like put the game to bed or kind of hold on their advantage, but that was not true. I'm sure Leeds United, without the manager, without Jesse March, and with new manager being announced, they should feel a little. They should feel confident and happy with the fact that they could kind of survive Old Trafford, because it's a very daunting environment for a lot of clubs. But then both Leeds and Manchester United should kind of be happy with the point eventually. Like, as Manchester United fans, I don't think we were happy with anything less than a win against Leeds, who've been kind of been beaten by Nottingham Forest over the weekend. So it's a weird scenario to think from those events, and also like losing their manager. The confidence might be low. It'll be the best point to kind of play them to kind of get the momentum, or get Manchester United to kind of overpower them with the confidence. But then it won't be far. It's not far ahead that we watched the reverse fixture as well, and that's what's happening this Sunday for Manchester United. Leeds are playing Manchester United, but it's an Island Road, so that's going to be very interesting. So let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts on this game. Like, what do you think? There were a couple of penalty shouts here and there for Rashford, but then I think that was pretty dim. What do you think about Sancho's kind of involvement in the game? And that's why I said Sancho saves United as the title of this video. What do you think about Sancho and the subs that Erik ten Hag made? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm more than happy to kind of, if you have more questions regarding more comments about the game, and so on, let me know in the comment section. Do like, do share, and do subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you in the next one.